10. Tina is left to stew in her thoughts for the rest of that night, after she suggests that she can help more than just being a blood bag. She still has some blood in her, and they didn't come back to bleed her out as well, so she feels like she has them thinking. She wakes up the next night turning her head slightly, feeling the presence of another over her, not breathing heavily, but just there. When she moves enough to show that she is awake, she hears a woman's whisper.
I didn't want to surprise you. I have some blood you can have.
Tina's head jerks a bit at being startled, but not much. She feels a plastic tube on the side of her lips and she turns her head to where it can go into her mouth. She sucks in and tastes it. It is cold and takes some time to drink, but it is blood. Once the blood bag is done, she smiles and speaks.
How nice, you served me breakfast in bed.
One of her captors has a light tone in her voice in answer.
Very funny.
The tube is taken away. The voice is a little further away than after she first heard it.
So you say you can help. What do you mean?
You know we have different blood powers. It is how we can do neato, magical stuff.
A quick answer back from the other woman.
Yep, and it is also how your kind can kill people and steal blood.
Look, I didn't ask for this, and I've only been at this for a couple of years. Some woman kidnapped me and made me like this, so can I please continue?
Not getting an answer for a few seconds, she continues.
So, from my creator, I can use some of the blood I have to do things to bodies. It can be used for nasty things, but it can also be used to help. I can meld bones back together, knit muscle back together, and form skin to what it used to be. It takes a little of my own blood, and some practice that I've had, but it could even be better than a doctor. The surgery can be much quicker, and the healing time would be much less. I could pull bullets out of someone's shoulder, pull scar tissue out of hips, or pull a bullet out of muscle or bone. I can close bullet wounds, meld muscle and skin back together, and all with my bare hands.
No words, or hums, in reply, she continues.
Look, I'm not in a world of fantasy here. I know I can do this and you'll kill me, but I could be so much handier to you than just a blood bottle. You know the eyes are key, even though I can't do any of that mind stuff. If you keep the other person blindfolded and watch me, I won't try anything. I can't bring people back from the dead, but I can help with wounds and stuff. Keep chains on me. I just want to, eventually, maybe even after a long while, be let go, please.
She hears the person walking away again.
We'll discuss what we will do with you. Just don't push your luck.
The other walks away from the room. Tina hears a sort of plastic covering be pushed out of the way and more miscellaneous noise. She didn't notice it before, but they are in a different place. The place smells different. The room is larger than she remembers from the night before. She realizes they must be moving her. She isn't exactly counting on current rescue plans. From what she is learning of what the others can do, there are quite a few things they could do to help her, but a lot would depend on how careful these people are, and they are mega careful. She has been told of the extent of her blood power to manipulate flesh and bone is to turn herself into a creature that rivaled a werewolf, muscles of steel, the skin of granite, claws that could rend a brick wall, but she has no idea how to bring herself to that strength. Her maker is probably dead, no one would tell her, but she has time to think. She thinks that if she brings herself into that power, practice, and use of it, and delves into the strength of that blood power, she might be able to free herself, but that would take some time. With these things swirling around in her head for perhaps about half an hour that night, she hears more people walk into the room, and a little ways away she hears that same voice speak. The woman says,
We've thought of giving you a chance to show what you can do. One of us has a family member that has hip issues due to a gunshot wound, and they don't have the money or insurance to get it out. In the test, would you help us get it out for them?
Absolutely. I'd like to say screw those insurance companies. I can't say enough bad things about them. I'll need someone to help at least get the blood out of the way so I can see the bone. If we could get some equipment that might help. I need one of the machines that vacuum the blood away so that I can see the bone and a place to do it. It wouldn't work if we did this in someone's room where they might be seen. I'll also need a scalpel to cut in a bit, but not much. Anesthesia would probably be good. If you know someone who can do that stuff so they aren't screaming the whole time, it would help. Get those things, and I can get it done much simpler, free, and with much less pain.
She hears some whispering and some of the whispering gets a little heated, but someone stops it with a louder,
Enough. Not here.
and they all leave the room. Tina smiles to herself. After quite some time, Tina wakes up, hears some noise, and realizes she has fallen asleep due to boredom. She can't move, and her captors haven't done anything to let her entertain herself. She turns her head towards the movement in the room. The heavy footsteps bring the ominous sound of seriousness, moving a little quicker and closer towards her. She asks,
What's going on?
and gets no response. As the boots walk closer, she gets an ominous feeling from them, like something isn't right, and she squirms a little on her captive table. The boots slam louder on the concrete floor than most other footwear. She has heard so far stop a few feet away, and another pair of shoes stops a bit behind that. The one in boots says,
You might feel like we are being kind to you for some reason. We've given you cause to believe that, but that will change. You may believe that we are just nice people needing your blood for fun, but this is a war, and one we need to win. We have been fighting your kind for decades, and there have been many casualties on both sides, and you need to learn that we are not just bleeding you for blood and otherwise being nice. If you will be doing these things for us, you need to realize who we are.
Oh, I think I know who you are. You don't need to.
A piece of cloth is shoved into her mouth and wraps around her head in a sort of makeshift bull gag, enough to stop her from talking. She figures screaming wouldn't do her much good, so she keeps quiet. She shakes her head trying to say,
You don't have to, you don't have to.
Her mumbles through the cloth fall on deaf ears. She feels a sharp pain on her left hand. The sting is new, something jars in her mind though, but she isn't sure what it is from. Pain, she remembers pain, more than this, more than ever. This pain is sharp, but not long-lasting to the pain from before. Her brain opens up to more pain. It is something she remembers. It isn't a puncture through the hand, but she feels something is missing. She is able to wiggle her fingers, most of them, one of them is missing. She can't help but scream loudly in a sharp pitch, but the gag prevents much noise. When she is done screaming, it is for about 10 seconds or so. She is able to control pain as a vampire, but feels like they want something from her, so she didn't try to heal this. She feels a towel wrap around her hand.
So, this is a start, and we have some more to do. Vampires like yourself often think we will let you go after a week or so. After that week, they become defiant and try to get loose. One even has, but he regretted it. We have hunted beings like you and know how to make things hurt.
The last word is punctuated, with a cut to her midsection near her ribs. The sharp, whatever it is, feels like it is pulled away, but she feels more pain. Did it feel like some lingering pain? Acid? She'd never felt acid on her skin before, has she? Pain is a sensation that draws someone's mind to something that has happened before, and something more is opening up. She has felt pain before, lots of pain, over a long period, but she couldn't remember when, or what, or whom. Remembering, she knows that Zook is good at helping people with that. Once the pain dials down to a more manageable level, she hears more from the wearer of the boots above her.
You feel that? You can't heal that easily because it is acid, and your kind isn't so thrilled with this sort of junk. That will take a few days to heal, and it will use some of your blood, but we'll let you heal it. This is a lesson for you. If you try to run, we have swords, knives, and bullets of this stuff. Just play nice, and from now on, so will we. Not only that, we have much more painful ways to hurt you if you run, so just keep this in mind, and don't.
Tina shakes her head from side to side, crying from pain, her tears wetting the cloth above her eyes. That night, before she is about to pass out from it turning into day, a few things come back to her, mainly that she has felt pain before her creation, a lot of it. Her maker is someone who likes to inflict pain, and she felt a lot of it before her change. Her creator did many uncomfortable things to her before making her into a vampire. She removed parts, without the use of a scalpel or knife, just her fingers, and put them back on, where they needed to be. Her maker is also a woman, girl power. Her face is so plain, it borders on noticing a faceless person would be less conspicuous. Even if she had to pick her out in a crowd, or a police lineup, she doubts she ever could. She doesn't want to remember this terrible memory though, she wants to keep her head in the game. She will help these people who kidnapped her for a bit, and then plan something, because otherwise they have no reason to keep her around, for long.